Kdfw clearance delivery Maverick 2-tree IFR to stand deferred, ready to copy.
Maverick 2-tree is cleared to stand deferred airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 left climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure frequency is 124.825 squawk 6002.
Maverick 2-tree cleared to stand deferred airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 left climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure on 124.825 squawk 6002.
Maverick 2-tree, read back correct. Contact ground on 131.275. Good day.
Ground Maverick 2-tree requesting pushback.
Maverick 2-tree pushback request accepted.
Ground Maverick 2-tree requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Maverick 2-tree, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Ground Maverick 2-tree requesting pushback tug to push the aircraft straight.
Maverick 2-tree, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
2-tree requesting the end of pushback.
Maverick 2-tree request to end pushback received.
Ground Maverick 2-tree requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Maverick 2-tree, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Ground Maverick 2-tree with Whiskey ready to taxi IFR.
Maverick 2-3 taxi to and hold short of runway 18 left using taxiway Whiskey Foxtrot, cross runway 18 right Whiskey Foxtrot. Contact tower on 126.55 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 18 left using taxiway Whiskey Foxtrot, cross runway 18 right Whiskey Foxtrot Maverick 2-tree. Maverick 2.
Maverick 2 tree, altimeter tree 0.00, wind 066 at 7. Cleared for takeoff runway 18 left.
Maverick 2 tree is type Boeing B748 5 miles south of DFW 3,800 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace.
Maverick 2 tree regional approach. Squawk 6725.
Squawk 6725 Maverick 2 tree.
Maverick 2 tree radar contact 6 miles north of Grand Prairie 4,700 feet. Cleared through the Bravo airspace.
Cleared through the Bravo airspace Maverick 2 tree.
Maverick 2 tree contact regional approach on 125.2. Good day.
125.2 Maverick 2 tree. Regional approach Maverick 2 tree 6,600 feet.
Maverick 2 tree regional approach altimeter tree 0.01 continue to Missouri as planned. contact Fort Worth Center on 132.85. Good day.
Going to 132.85 Maverick 2 tree. Fort Worth Center Maverick 2 tree 8,600 feet.
Maverick 2 tree Fort Worth Center. Altimeter tree 0.00 continues unit as planned. Skywest tree 081, you are 2 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 17 center approach via Bossy transition. Clear to Bossy.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 17 center approach via Bossy transition. Cleared to Bossy Skywest 3081.
Skywest 3081, contact Fort Worth Center. On 134.15. Good day. Screamer 46, you are 2 miles southeast. Climb and maintain 6,700 feet. Expect vectors, ILS. Yankee runway 13 left approach.
134.15 for Skywest 3081.
Climb and maintain 6,700 feet. Expect vectors ILS Yankee runway 13 left approach. Screamer 46.
Screamer 46, contact regional approach on 125.2. Good day. Air Shuttle Flight 9er 4 tree, 5 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 17 center approach via Bossy transition. Cleared to Bossy.
125.2 for Screamer 46.
Southwest 562 tree, you are 25 miles northeast. Climb and maintain 5,100 feet. Expect vectors, ILS Yankee runway 13 left approach.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 17 center approach via Bossy transition. Cleared to Bossy Air Shuttle 59er 42.
Climb and maintain 5,100 feet. Expect vectors
623 contact regional approach on 124.3. Good day. Southwest 4230 UR3, 2 miles southeast. Climb and maintain 8,300 feet. Expect vectors. ILS Yankee runway 13 left approach.
Climb and maintain 8,300 feet. Expect vectors. ILS Yankee runway 13 left approach southwest 4230.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the all-new 2022 Volkswagen Taos has a lower cost of maintenance than
On board the Moldova A319 heading to Kishinev. According to my app, my bag is still on the ground. There we go then, back on board Air Moldova. Next stop, home. It's morning. It's time to go home. So we're heading home today. Yay! Flying with Air Moldova today, back home to London from here in Moscow with a stopover in Kishinev, Moldova. So let's head down and see if we can get checked in for the flight home. Yay!
The first step today then was to check in, or should I say try to check in.
Hello, good morning.
This didn't seem to be quite as easy as I'd thought though. more staff showed up and I seemed to be causing quite a few issues. Phone calls were being made, documents checked and Google being searched. It soon turned out that there was some confusion over whether I'd be allowed to enter the UK. Was my trip home over before it even began? Would I be trapped like Edward Snowden in an airport hotel in Moscow? As it turned out, no it wasn't. 15 minutes later, I was on my way.
Well, there we go. First impressions of Air Moldova. They don't have a bloody clue what they're doing. But never mind. Finally checked in and head through to airside now. I'm actually quite pleased that I chucked an air tag in my baggage because judging by how sort of not very good they were on check-in there, I'm a bit sort of concerned that my bag might not make it now. So I'm glad I've got my air tag in my baggage. We'll be checking it as we go through the airport today and making sure it follows us basically. So yeah, let's head through security and head to the gate.
Relieved that I'd finally made it through, the next step today then was to hit the duty-free shop and pick up something to give Rach some relief after 2 weeks of handling the kids solo.
Bye-bye. Thank you, that's brilliant. Right, made it to the gate, got my coffee, much needed after that stressful check-in there. Essentially what it turned out was that they were under the impression that the UK needed a full PCR test to get in instead of the lateral flow thing that we have to do. And I get it, it's confusing for everybody and they can't, you can't expect them to know the rules for every country, especially when you're transiting through a country like Moldova where I guess not many people would take a flight from Moscow to the UK through Moldova, but even still, the whole situation, you'd think the airlines would have come up with some way by now of easily verifying, universally, what the requirements are for every country and whether the passengers have met them or not. It just beggars belief that we're now 18 months or so into this and still we've got this confusion and chaos reigning at every single airline. There's got to be an easier solution than this, surely, guys, come on. But anyway, we're at the gate and I can chill for a little bit because my ride to Chisinau, Moldova, will be arriving very soon. Just checked flight radar and it's on its final approach now into Moscow and will be arriving right just there.
Flight 1 today then was on this Airbus A319, delivered new to China Eastern in 2002 before spending a long time flying for Frontier in the US. Air Moldova took delivery in May 2017.
The new Google Pixel 5a with 5G from just $449.
The Air Moldova A319 heading to Chisinau in Moldova. I've been wanting to go to Chisinau for so very long. and Moldova, but with COVID and everything, it's just been put off like 3 times. So this is the best I'm going to get for now, flying on Air Moldova, connecting through Kishinev back to London. They actually wanted, like, I mean, I'll tell you the price of my economy class C later on, but they actually wanted like 5 times the price on this flight to go and sit at the front in business class, which is basically just a Euro business class with the middle seat blocked off and a standard economy seat. And I was like, yeah, it's not worth like over £1,000 or whatever it was for that, really, when you can pay a much lower price to sit back here. So and it's not too bad. Leg room is decent enough. It's a 2-hour flight. It's typical sort of Euro business class. Not masses of leg room, but it's okay. And it looks like it's going to be a really busy flight today down to Kishinev. So yeah, looking forward to getting in the sky. Okay, so tracking my luggage with my AirTag, and I have to say I'm a little bit concerned because 1 minute ago it was sort of half a mile away on the other side of the airport, and they've just brought a load of bags over to load, but as of yet my bag still appears to be right across to the side of the airport, so whether or not it's going to make it, I don't know. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Right, my phone has just dinged and said that my luggage has now been found with me, so it looks like it's in one of those containers out there, so that's good. So we know it's made it on the flight. Phew, at least it's made it as far as on the plane. Let's see if it makes my tight connection over in Kishinev. We'll find out. I am Moldova. This is on you now, guys. First flight today then took us southwest out of Moscow to cross Ukraine before descending into Kishinev, Moldova. Flight time today was 1 hour and 36 minutes, cruising at 38,000 feet. So airborne from Moscow, saying goodbye to Russia, for this time at least. I'm heading home, and I'm looking forward to it actually. I love Russia, it's a beautiful, beautiful country. It is incredibly exhausting travelling around Russia. And just really glad now to be on the home stretch on the flight back to London via Kishinev. And it's a beautiful day for flying, isn't it? Look at the weather. So I'm not entirely sure what service we're going to get on this flight so far. They've just come round with a bottle of water, so we'll see if we get anything more. It's only like an hour and a half flight, this one, so I'm not expecting a massive amount more. It'll be interesting to see what we get on the next one, because that's quite a little bit longer than this one, so we'll see. So they just announced there is a buy on board service today for sandwiches and drinks and things. I'm not going to do it on this flight because, to be honest, I'm on this blooming intermittent fasting thing at the minute, which means I can't eat for about another hour anyway, so I might as well wait until I get on the next flight up to Stansted. Yeah, they got sandwiches and snacks and things like that. It's not too bad. Kiev, Ukraine. Yay! It's been a while since I've been to Ukraine, actually, into Kiev, so yeah, I should really head back there at some point. Lovely city, stunning from up here as well. Beautiful city to visit. So then, top of descent down into Kdfw. We'll be on the ground in around about 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go.
Very disturbing news out of Vernon Central High School.
What's going on? Hundreds of students have gone to...
Thank you, bye-bye. Now we have half an hour until our flight to London departs, so time to get a wiggle on, I think. Right, so I've come to a door, it's locked. Just hope somebody comes and lets me through. There we go then, that was all pretty straightforward, wasn't it? Straight through to the departure lounge, and it took about 5 minutes to get through the transit lane, so not bad at all. Just hope my bag has made it. I'll check in a minute and see where it is on the Find My app, but all so far so good. Not a bad little airport this actually, here at Kdfw. A bit nicer than I was expecting, to be honest. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's nicer than I was expecting. Anyway, we'll be getting on board in the next few minutes, I suppose, and then on our way back to London. Look at this, look. An actual queue, not people just running and crowding the gate. Hello.
Have the phone checked on the plane.
Thank you.
there we go then, back on board Air Moldova on another A319. This one's not painted in their full colour scheme, but I must say I'm very impressed with the efficiency of the connections here at Kishinev. I was expecting it to be a little bit chaotic, especially with that like really tight 30-minute connection I had here, and actually it was dead easy, in and out. I just hope my bag's made it. I'll check in a minute and see if it's on board. But yeah, next stop, home. My flight home to the UK then took us west from Kishinev to cross Ukraine, Poland and Germany before starting our descent over the Netherlands into Stansted. Flight time today was 2 hours and 57 minutes, cruising at 38,000 feet. Right, so update on the luggage situation. As of yet, we are about 40 minutes out of Kishinev, and according to my app, my bag is still on the ground in Kishinev. Now how accurate that is I don't know. Last time on the last flight it showed it was with me when it was down in the baggage hold. This time it's not, and it's showing it's still down on the ground in Kishinev, so I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it could just be that they've loaded it like right at the back of the plane or something, so it's out of range of my phone to talk to it locally. I don't know. I hope that's the case. So I really don't want to be dealing with a lost bag on this trip, but never mind. It is what it is. We'll see what happens when we get to London and if it updates. Right, so we're just about to start our descent down into London, and the food's turned up. So I bought a chicken sandwich and a bottle of Coke, and oh my goodness, the crew on Air Moldova seem to be just as grumpy as the crew on some of the Russian airlines. I've had huffing and puffing and tutting and oh dear, but never mind. I finally got some food, so I'm going to actually be able to wolf this down before we land at Stansted, hopefully. Not long to go, and yeah, we'll be down on the ground. Looking forward to it. While I'm travelling, and even while I'm not, one of the key parts of my tech arsenal is Surfshark. It's a VPN that protects my data from nefarious goings-on wherever I am in the world. Country into the UK, like 2-3 hour long queues at Heathrow.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Good thing the all-new 2022 Volkswagen Taos has a lower cost of maintenance than Toyota RAV4. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today and experience the
as well as the other London airport being reported in all the press, so I'm kind of a little bit nervous as to what it's going to be like when we get down there, to be honest. It's going to be interesting to see if it really is as bad as the media have been telling us, or whether or not it's like, okay, I don't know. We'll see when we get down there, I'm not really sure. Of course, my other concern is that my bag is still showing us on the ground in Kishinev, so it would be nice to know as well when we get down there if my bag's made it on the same flight as me. And we'll find out when we get down on the ground, but we're just over the North Sea at the moment, starting our approach down into Stansted. My flight from Moscow to London cost me £142.74, working out at 7 pence per mile. Compared to the direct flight, this is around a quarter of the economy fare charged by BA and Aeroflot on the same route. I wouldn't, however, pay the price they charge for business class on Air Moldova. They wanted over £1,000 for exactly the same seat and a sandwich.
Hello, you alright?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, good to meet you. How are you?
Not bad, sir.
Yeah, good time. Glad to be back. Yeah. Yeah, not too bad. Glad to be back now. It's been like 2-3 weeks now. So.
Looks like you had a good time.
So yeah, I used to be watching on Insta then and stuff. But yeah, awesome. Oh, nice to meet you anyway. Yeah, awesome. See you later.
As always, I'd like to say a big thanks to my patrons. You can join them at the link on the screen now for access to my WhatsApp group, live weekly Zoom calls with me, and much more.
So back in the UK after my mammoth trip around the former Soviet Union and my flight back home with Air Moldova. And Air Moldova, let's be honest, they weren't that great on board. However, I was quite impressed with their service on the ground and how fast and convenient that connection was through Kishinev Airport. Like a 30-minute connection. I didn't think I'd make it, let alone my bag, and yet here we are, both of them are here, me and my bag, so that's fantastic. And getting back here, well, the queues weren't that bad. It took about 40 minutes to get through that massive line. They were working pretty quickly, even though they were checking everybody's paperwork, and the officers there were friendly as always really nice when you get back from a trip to have like a friendly face meeting you off the plane and through the airport. Let me know what you thought to Air Moldova down in the comments, but in the meantime, as always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
A portion of this video is sponsored by the Motley Fool. We're about to spend...
Right then, on board.
If you live in a qualified zip code, you may be eligible to receive
I've been to many great air shows in the world, such as Paris Air Show, Farnborough Air Show, and Dubai Air Show. But if you ask me, what's the best air show I've ever been? I would tell you it was an air show in North Korea 5 years ago.
During the festival, you will have lots of fun.
It felt like turning 50 years back in time there. To enter North Korea by air, there's only two gateways. One is from China and the other is from Russia. So in September 2016, about 200 aviation enthusiasts gathered at Beijing International Airport. We were boarding onto an Air Koryo Tupolev 204. Air Koryo is the national airline of North Korea. We're bound for Pyongyang, then we'll be transferred onto Wonsan to attend the first air show in the country, the Wonsan Air Show. Air Koryo used the Tupolev 204, which is a modernized version of Soviet Russian airplane comparable to a Boeing 757 or Airbus A321 from the external fuselage. Air Koryo was also the world's only one-star Skytrax airline. But is it really that bad? Is it really one star? Take a look at the service, take a look at the food, the drink, the entertainment we had on board. When we reached Pyongyang Airport, immediately we were transferred across the terminal and boarding onto a Russian Soviet time machine, a Tupolev 154.
Full house, business class.
The flight distance is 173 kilometers and the speed is 530 kilometers per hour. For the safety of the flight, it is prohibited to stop and use cameras and mobile phones.
It was just amazing to hear the engine starting at the back of the Tupolev 154. It was just a far cry from the modern day aviation. And after 30 minutes of flying, we reached our final destination, Wonsan. We were one of the first airplanes to touch down at a brand new international airport that was built and maybe specifically for the air show. Our group spent the rest of the day at the airport tarmac filming all the Soviet airplanes in the Air Koryo fleets that is coming in to participate for the air show the next day. Now, this is not aviation, but I felt this is really interesting and funny. We didn't spend in any tourist hotel. We were actually taken to a children's hotel. If you look at the room, there were 3 or 4 beds, all dressed in pink color sheets. And I actually slept quite well in these tiny little beds. No complaints. For travelers, there are many advantages using a VPN. I personally use VPN to bypass internet censorship, to find cheaper travel, Surfshark VPN. Leader statures. All the tour guides accompanying us are probably political minders, and they're watching all our moves. As soon as we arrived at the air show, we saw this massive crowd.
During the festival, you will have lots of fun, including sightseeing flying over Wonsan by different planes of choice of your own choice, enjoying music and dance performance and soiree, and tasting different brands of famous Korean beer.
끝으로 축전에 참가한 여러분들이 즐겁고 유쾌한 시간을 보내기 바랍니다.
I hope all the festival makers from home and abroad will have a great and memorable time during the stay here.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Just right after the opening speech, the very first airplane on the air show is a 1969 Illusion 18. What's interesting and rare about this air show is that it is not a pure civilian air show. It also combines military. It is very rare to see the North Korean Air Force in action, at least showing to the Western world. So right after the air courier Illusion 18, there's the Korean People's Army Air Force MiG-29 in action.
And indeed it really was like an air show in any other country. The whine of jet engines, the thump of distant pop music, flags flapping and the smell of cooked meat on the breeze. The pace of the display was impressive, with one aircraft displaying while the next sat at the holding point ready for takeoff, and the one after that starting engines in the parking area. We asked the organizers how they did such a slick job on their first ever air show, and they said they watched videos and DVDs of Riyadh, Farnborough, and other famous events abroad. They did a fantastic job.
The crowd are so excited every time when there's a helicopter flying over past them or whatever, and with all the music going on and cheering, you know, it could be anywhere. But we have to remind ourselves, we are in North Korea. The air show is in North Korea, and this is unreal. The afternoon was kicked off by another smashing hit, the MiG-21. A pair of female pilots were piloting the MiG-21. And this was followed by the low flight pass of a 4-engine Illusion 62. And then there are Mu-17 helicopter, Illusion 76, and N-24. And when they pass by, you smell the jet fuel in the air. It smells great. It is raw aviation, mega fun.
In between breath.
The air show was also an insight into North Korean life, as tourists had never really been allowed to mix with locals before. But we were free to roam in the crowd of 20,000 North Koreans. I was impressed by the pavilions selling souvenirs, clothing, soft furnishing, toys, showing a degree of commerce and private enterprise not usually apparent.
And this is a great opportunity, and the only time we are actually allowed to mingle freely with the North Koreans there at the air show. Because normally your tour guide will separate you and the local people. You were not able to talk directly with them in any other places. So this is the first time ever. Of course, they were not able to understand each other, so we can only use simple hand gesture, hand signs, and a smile, international diplomacy. What really impressed me is at the end of the air show on day one, there was a mass crowd marching back, walking in the dark, going back home. Of course, we were privileged Westerner, we were on the bus, but watching this tens of thousands of people walking on the street like soldiers marching. It was incredible. And that night, there were a great performance in the local theater showcasing the North Korean arts. So the next day at the air show, it was mainly joyriding on many Soviet rare airplanes type from Air Koryo's fleet. There's not many air shows actually allow you to buy a ticket and to go on for a joyride. So this is why it's so unique and such a great experience. My favorite is always the Illusion 62. It was Soviet's premier intercontinental airplane back in the 1970s and 80s. Sitting at the very end of the Illusion 62, listening to the different pitch of screaming sound from the D30 Soloviev engine, it was just beyond amazing. It was nothing like it. The next interesting joyride was an Illusion 76. This was used as a transporter, so it has a bench sitting across each side. Each of these joyrides were very short. They were about 15-minute circuits, a takeoff, a long circuits, and come back to land. Another rare airplane to fly on is the Illusion 18, 4 turboprop engine, 1969 made. This airplane in Air Koryo fleet recently had a refurbished in the interior. It certainly looks better than it was over a 50-year-old airplane. As we thought the show was over, we were wrong. We were taken to a square. There were 5,000 people dancing. And 10,000 spectators. Foreigners like us were invited to dance together with the North Koreans, all going for a very happy dance together. Obviously, the air show was a smashing hit. Not only we get to see the Soviet airplanes, the military, and also we get to joyride on some of these very rare airplanes you wouldn't be able to do so in the West. But there are also lots of great humanities and goodwills in this air show. Foreigners for the first time are able to freely mingle with North Koreans. I think aviation really unites people and brings the world closer.
This was the biggest event in the North Korean events diary of 2016, and there was much hope that it would become an annual event. But alas, international tensions that rose with the election of Donald Trump as president of the United States meant there was no tourism at all to North Korea in 2017. And after that, the momentum was lost, making the 2016 Wonsan Air Show a one-off and surely the most exotic air show of all time.
Wait, you mean I can save all this money on shopping sites using Karma? Amazon? Nike? Mango?
Hey, you know what 5-minute crafts tomorrow? Do you want a key with a light on it? Then stick a light to your fucking key!
Generic 2 Kilo Mike have the generic in sight.
Execute 208, traffic is 11 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 380, Boeing B748. Report them inside. Maverick 23, traffic is 11 o'clock, 2 miles at flight level 400, generic. Report them inside. Execute 208, contact Memphis Center on 133.65. Good day.
Maverick 23 have the generic in sight.
Execute 208. Indianapolis Center, Blue Streak 5168 is at flight level 330, descending 10,000 feet. Blue Streak 5168, Indianapolis Center, continue as planned. Indianapolis Center, Air Shuttle 5907 is at flight level 350, descending 10,000 feet. Air Shuttle 5907, Indianapolis Center, continue as planned. Blue Streak 5168, traffic is 3 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 350, generic. Report them inside. Air Shuttle 5907, traffic is 11 o'clock, 3 miles at flight level 330, generic. Report them inside. Blue Streak 5168 have the traffic. Air Shuttle 5907, traffic inside.
Riders got my baby. Sight.
Generic 2 Tango X-ray contact Indianapolis Center on 124.775. Good day. Going to 124.775 Generic 2 Tango X-ray. 124.775 Air Shuttle 5907. Maverick 2-tree contact Evansville approach on 124.02. Good day.
124.02 Maverick 2-tree. Evansville approach Maverick 2-tree 10,700 feet.
Maverick 2-tree Evansville approach altimeter tree 0.10 continue as planned. Maverick 2-tree contact Indianapolis Center on 128.3. Good day.
128.3 for Maverick 2-tree. Indianapolis Center Maverick 2-tree 10,200 feet.
Maverick 2-tree Indianapolis Center altimeter tree 0.10 continue as planned. Cessna 437 traffic is 11 o'clock 4 miles at 9,500 feet Boeing B748. Report them inside. Maverick 2-tree traffic is 1 o'clock 3 miles at 9,900 feet Cessna Skyhawk. Report them inside.
Maverick 2-tree have the Cessna Skyhawk inside.
Maverick 2-tree contact Louisville approach on 132.075. Good day.
132.075 for Maverick 2-tree. Louisville approach Maverick 2-tree 8,300 feet.
Maverick 2-tree Louisville approach altimeter tree 0.10 continue to Kdfw as planned. Maverick 2-tree contact Louisville approach on 132.07. Good day.
132.07 Maverick 2-tree. Louisville approach Maverick 2-tree 8,000 feet.
Maverick 2-tree Louisville approach altimeter tree 0.10 continue to Kdfw as planned.
Romeo Golf, you are 22 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 7,600 feet. Expect Hano's Yankee runway 17 left approach via Hano's transition. Clear to Hano's.
Climb and maintain 7,600 feet. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 17 left approach via Hano's transition. Clear to Hano's generic 0 Romeo Golf.
Maverick 2-tree contact Louisville approach on 1-3-2.075. Good day.
1-3-2.075 Maverick 2-tree. Louisville approach Maverick 2-tree 2,200 feet.
Maverick 2-tree Louisville approach altimeter 30.10 continuous planned.
approach Maverick 2 tree. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Maverick 2 tree Louisville approach. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Cleared through Charlie airspace Maverick 2 tree. Approach Maverick 2 tree 6 miles north of Standiford. Request IFR to Standiford. Ready to copy.
Maverick 2 tree is cleared to Standiford Airport as filed. Squad 301 tree 2.
Maverick 2 tree cleared to Standiford Airport as filed. Squawk tree 1 tree 2.
Maverick 2 tree rate back correct. Radar contact 1,300 feet. Altimeter 30.1 tree continue to base and turning and following heading 245 climb and maintain 14,000 feet.
Continue to base and turning and following heading 245 climb and maintain 14,000 feet Maverick 2 tree. Louisville approach Maverick 2 tree would like to change destination to Standiford.
Maverick 2 tree is cleared to Standiford Airport as filed. Squad 301 tree 2.
Maverick 2 tree cleared to Standiford Airport as filed. Squawk tree 1 tree 2.
Maverick 2 tree rate back correct. Radar contact 800 feet. Altimeter 30.1 tree continue to base and turning and following heading 245 climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Continue to base and turning and following heading 245 climb and maintain 11,000 feet Maverick 2 tree.
Maverick 2 tree contact Louisville.